got AC from Uruguay. Good to have you here. Ireland, Bree, not in bed yet. That's right. Well, you're staying up late because you know you got to learn this stuff, or you'll be in a heap of trouble if you don't know it. You got Michael with UK ancestors. Let me tell you, everyone I've ever met over in America has some type of UK ancestry. Everybody. They got more ancestry in the UK than I do. Most people. We got Bill, who's from England, but he lives in South Carolina. I love it. Got Pierre from Montreal. Montreal, sorry. That's the English pronunciation. You have to forgive me. Got Jeff from Detroit. Hey, Jeff. Good to have you here. Good to have everybody here. Thank you for coming. Once again, we truly, we know you could be doing anything tonight, but you've decided to spend the time here, and we are going to hopefully make that a very wise decision, because we really have a presentation here that I know you're going to get a lot out of. You're going to learn a lot. And we've spent the last few weeks, getting this together, because this is a pretty urgent thing that we want to be able to put in front of you to be able to take advantage of ASAP this week in the markets. So this isn't something that's going to be something that you have to wait to act on. This is stuff which is this week based, right? So with that, let me officially welcome you to AI Trade Spy with Professor Jeff Bman. I'm not Professor Jeff Bman. I'm Ross Bauer, and I have the pleasure of working alongside the professor on a subscription service which we have called the Quant Guy. We've been working together for a couple of years. So we kind of put our heads together to say what would be the most valuable thing we could come to you with, and the thing that has been foremost on the professor's mind over the 2 years that we've worked together is his increasing concerns and worries about what AI is doing to today's stock market, and most of all, how AI is impacting regular traders by disrupting the way the markets used to operate and putting regular traders in, let's just call it, a big pickle. Not quite knowing what to do, not quite knowing how to navigate markets that are so driven by AI activity. The professor is going to talk more about that, how that works, how it impacts stocks. We're going to dive into specific stocks, talk about them. And what's really cool is at the end of this webinar, we are going to email you, if you attend this webinar, which you are, if you understand my voice, you will get the professor's official hard-earned AI watch list, which currently stands at 37 stocks, a lot of them household name stocks that you've heard of, and you'll hear about some on this presentation. And you're going to get this full watch list, because what you learn on this presentation, we want it to be actionable for you. So you can go into this watch list and you can start to act on the things that you're about to learn over the next time together. So we're going to email that to you at the end of this presentation. Now it's time to actually look at how to turn these watch list stocks into potential money in your pocket. That's what tonight is all about. It's only about that. That's all it's about. That's our focus tonight. But let me talk to you about the man who's going to be telling you about that real quick. You may know him, but let me just recap very quickly. As you can see, financial media likes to have a chat with Professor Jeff Bman, right? Why is that? They could have anybody on. And plus, all of us watch financial media. We see people on it all the time. They're just talking suits. You don't really know their past. You don't really know their history. But let me tell you what makes the professor so unique, why Yahoo Finance, why CNBC wants to talk to him, why they want to get his perspective. because he's done stuff that other people haven't done, and he has a mix of experience that makes him uniquely capable of being able to go into a stock chart, as you're about to see very, 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 very shortly, and identify AI and show you how to potentially take advantage of it right now, tomorrow, this week, right now. So for 10 years, Jeff worked on the 10th floor, right up here, of this Hollywood office building in Century Park East in LA, and he was a hedge fund manager. And we're not legally allowed to say who his clients were for obvious reasons, but we can say they may be people who you may have heard of before. So Jeff had $75 million in assets under management, and that's a lot of responsibility, and that's a lot of experience. It's a lot of analyzing the market, a lot of weight on your shoulders, a lot of trust people have to have in you for that. Then Jeff went from the hedge fund world to the trade and education world. And he worked for 8 years as the chief market technician for TD Ameritrade. So what does that mean, chief market technician? Well, TD Ameritrade had over 7 million clients. They were the biggest brokerage in America at that time. And they were reliant on Jeff to set up all of their charting technology so that their 7 million clients knew what they were doing and could find opportunities and could generate good trading results. And all of that responsibility was on Jeff's shoulders for 8 years. And what happened was, Jeff was an innovator and basically innovated lots of the charting technology that you see now and set the course for example, when you see Robinhood being so super simple in its application, Jeff was at the root of that revolution that started to make technical trading accessible to the everyday public. And then he went on to teach, and he is currently still an adjunct professor of finance for undergraduates, graduates, and executive MBA level students at Loyola University, Quinlan School of Business. He loves teaching. He's born to teach, as you're about to see. If you haven't seen him teach already, well, you're in for a show, right? So now he teaches through the Quant Guy service and through the work he does with TheoTRADE. He arms regular traders, just like everybody on this call, just like all of us on this call, with the tools that we need, the insights which we need to be able to get ahead in a world that really isn't designed for us to get ahead sometimes, right? So here's one person who is not on this webinar. They are not in the room right now, and this is a very full room, I want you to know. This is a very full room, but Peter is not in this room, and the reason why is because Peter is in Asia. He left us in this note after he found out we were doing this event, and he says, "Professor, I hope you're well. I'm traveling all over Asia and having a blast, so I'm not sure I'll be able to make the webinar because of the time zone difference. I made $435,000 in profit in January with one more trading day left." Now, I want to be very clear with you because I want to respect you. This is an extraordinary result. We are certainly not saying this is an average result. That is the last thing we're saying. Peter's certainly trading with quite a large account because Peter has been studying with, learning from the professor for quite a while. But what this does show is it certainly shows the potency and the potential of learning from the professor if you execute on what he teaches, and he's about to teach us right now. So what I want to do is I want to stop sharing my screen and invite the professor into the fray here. Say, good evening, Professor. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Ross. Good to see you too. First off, thank you for that introduction. I'm actually humbled. It's like my life story in about 5 minutes, which I've never thought about compiling myself. So I give credit to where my team is due. Ross does a fabulous job. But in the meantime, I actually want to take you onto my screen. I'm going to give you 3 examples today: a tech stock, a leisure stock, and a retail stock, and show you what an AI trade looks like. I call it, and I'll give credit where credit's due to Ross, it's AI Trade Spy. There's some my first thought was to call it a footprint, but Ross is like, no, it's called a thumbprint. There's something that you can look immediately, and you don't have to be seasoned. You don't have to be the greatest, 20 years in the business. You don't have to know technical analysis, although I love teaching it, and I'll teach it to you in an immersive, backwards and forwards type of, interactive AI class curriculum. But I just want to show you what a footprint looks like. Now, I'm simplifying it, but don't think that because I simplify it, that you're going to nail it every time, because there's layers and levels of different tools, tells, and clues where you can look at an AI trade and spot it. And by the way, I was fortunate enough, I did see one individual ask, well, how do I spot that AI trade before it happens? I saw that, Ross, and I will show that individual.
I saw that too.
I will show that individual. There are times when you can spot it before it happens, and there are times where it's a little bit more elusive, okay? So I'm bringing on my screen to you an example of advanced micro, okay? Now, I don't have all my tools in front of me. I have other technical tools I like to lay out here. I have different optics. I like to change the optics in terms of the candle types. I like to add other lines in between support, resistance. Okay, but I want to keep this at a very layman basic level of when you can see an AI trade play. The first thing I'm going to tell you about it is everybody thinks an AI trade always kicks in at the open. Not true. Not true. Sometimes AI trades will kick off from the open. You can spot it and you can exploit it. There are other times when you have to give it an hour or two and just patiently wait. And then you'll start to see the AI trade start to materialize and come into play. So here is my example of advanced micro today. Okay. Now, advanced micro is down about $9 in after hours. So again, I'm only using it as an empirical example, nothing more, nothing less. Okay. But if you look at how Tuesday morning opened up with advanced micro, let me get you into a much more like exact sort of look as I move my screen around a bit, okay? So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm sitting on 1 minute candles, which is the shortest duration you can possibly get on a time segmented candle. I just want to point that out. Notice here that as the morning opens, advanced micro opens down, closes around 177 and change, opens up at 175, and then bounces immediately. See that big bounce right there, that shooting out of a cannon? Okay. There's no set of individuals in the world that could possibly make that happen. Impossible. That is an AI pop. I call it an AI spike. Okay. And then in a split second later, completely reverses and drops back down right to its opening print trade. Take a look for yourself. Swing up, swing down. Okay. That is but one of many footprints of an AI trade. How long did it take to make it from here to there? About 10 minutes. How long did it take it from here to there? About 20 minutes. So a half an hour has elapsed. You have 2 AI trades. You have one here and you have one there. Then what happens? Okay, it once again bounces off that bottom and then swings all the way back up here. Okay, and then the market starts to like take and morph differently for this stock. So Ross, if there's one thing that designates an AI trade, the key term is linearity. Linearity is a derivative of the word line. Linear trades are AI trades. They are meant to be as if they were on a track where there's virtually little slippage on either side of a trade. There's no way humans who are looking at this in a mishmash of like collection of potpourri of trades that can be so perfectly manicured that it can swing up, swing down, swing up like this, unless it is done by a machine. Just want to get that out there, Ross. That's like the first starting thumbprint.
Well, what about a person who's looking at this thinking, well, you're looking at a 10-minute time frame there, right? Right, a fast move. Do I need to be, is that the only kind of time frame that these trades happen on? Do they happen on various time frames, depending on my trading style? What if I don't take, quick fire trades like?
Here's the great thing about the AI's Trade Spy. Okay, this is a minute chart. It's the fastest time segmentation ever. It's not a tick chart, which is transaction. It's not a time agnostic chart like a Renko bar or a momentum bar. It's just 1 minute per trade, and you can see it it's marked by 1 minute at a time. If you don't want to trade on a 1 minute chart, that's fine. You could even switch this up and say, well, that 1 minute's way too quick. Let me change this up to 3 minutes. Okay. It won't make that much of a difference, Ross, because whether it's a 1 minute, a 3 minute, or a 5 minute, the AI footprint is still there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You could even go to a 10 minute and the footprint will still be there. As a matter of fact, if you extend the time on a frequency from 1 to 5 minutes, you get a better smoothing factor. So the line, the linearity is actually easier to decipher. So even if you don't feel like you want to be an ostrich on crack watching every minute, but you want to step back and say, well, how do I get this so I can see much more uniformity without getting caught up in the chop? And you can still accomplish that in my system.
So let's talk about the overarching thing that's happening here, just to make it clear for people what's happening, why it's happening, what's the catalyst for this. So the way I would understand it is that you've got all these Wall Street algos, super powerful, that are on the other side of your trade. And what these algos do is they kind of combine together to, bully price up in a sustainable way, or bully price down in a sustainable way, meaning a sustained move, up or down. Have I got that right so far?
Correct.
Right. So how often does this happen? Let's say in a stock like AMD, and you're looking at AMD, it's on the watch list. How frequently are these opportunities to be able to see what's about to happen next, potentially, because you're able to identify AI or not AI?
Well, first off, it depends upon the innate volatility of the underlying stock. Tech stocks tend to be more volatile. Therefore, there's more opportunity to spot AI in a given day. Stocks that are less volatile will still yield or sport AI, but not the same level of frequency of opportunity in a given day. They won't. So if you're looking at something like Tesla or Apple, yes, you see these AI swings on a more frequent basis on a given day. But to be honest, Ross, there are 500 stocks in the S&P. All 500 are governed, suffocated, and run by AI anyways. So there's no way to escape this. It's all encompassing. It's all suffocating. But if you want to find more opportunity, you have to kind of dial it up into a more volatile stock, which may not be compatible with everybody's style. So if some person says, well, I can't stand the swings, don't worry. There's 499 other stocks that will show their hand on an AI thumbprint every day anyways. So there's opportunity for everybody who likes the high octane, or for people who like the snoozers like me, for like Kellanova or General Mills. It makes no difference.
How about we take a look at Nvidia? Because that's the stock that's really in the news.
Before I jump to Nvidia, I want to address the question earlier. Just for argument's sake, Ross, let's just say somebody looks at this and says, this is too fast moving. This is too hyperactive for me. How could I still trade advanced micro, capitalize on an AI trade, but not trade the opening and not get caught up in the chop? Here's my system. I'm not going to give everything away tonight because there's layers and layers of things that go through, which you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Pardon me?
I was just saying we only have so much time. We just want to.
I don't have so much. But here is to this individual. He said, "Well, how can I get set up for it?" It's pretty simple. See right here how it bounced off there? Ever see that? Once, twice, 3 times. The idea here is if that support level is violated, okay, and if the order flow picks up, the algos are like that. They're called, actually, Ross, they're called sniffers. They really are called sniffers. They will sniff out the order flow and the angle. Once the angle goes down, Ross, and breaks support, guess what the algos do, Ross? See how the volume picks up immediately? That's an algo breaking the back of advanced micro intraday. So for the individual who says, well, how do I get prepped for it? Just watch the support level. Watch it all day. If it violates and breaks underneath with heavy volume, that's an AI. That's an algorithm taking over that stock and breaking its neck. Check a look. You would have got $3 on that trade. That's an algo trade. Now, go ahead, Ross.
Let's just talk about what people are up against, because I'm sure there's people who are on this, event now who are thinking, do I really need to know this to be able to succeed in today's market? Do I need to understand any of this? Do I need to even care what the AI is doing? Do I even need to care what these algos are doing? Can't I use what I learned last year or the year before, or the year before that? What would you say to someone who's just saying, I don't even know why I should care about this?
Let me put it to you this way. I don't know how my car is built. I don't care. I just want to know how to drive it. So whoever builds the engine or whoever tunes up my car at the dealership, I don't care. I just want to be able to get behind the car, the wheel, and drive it. So you don't have to know the mechanics behind it. And even if you did, it's not value added. The most important thing is recognition, pattern recognition of the algo in play, and the tools and the experience and what I call like complementary tells, which will lead you to understand what is happening at that given point in time. So the answer is you don't need to be an expert, but if you want to get immersed in it, and I don't want to spoil this because Ross will tell you this, I did do a 1-hour, symposium, the first of its kind ever, at a Florida traders retreat, showing people how an algorithm is actually constructed and how it's designed, what are the variables, what is the expected output, okay, and how algos are built upon one major premise: kill vol and make sure it's as aligned in a channel as possible. You'll always know an AI trade. Okay, and it can be fast or it can be slow and progressive, but you can see how it's manicured perfectly. That's an AI trade, Ross. That's an AI trade. Okay, it's perfectly manicured, very little slippage or volatility, up or down, steep slope. But the slope doesn't always have to be steep in every single underlying. It depends upon the innate volatility of the underlying, because I can show examples of slow, grinding stocks where you'll look at it and say, oh my God, that's an algorithm. And I'm like, you're darn right it is. And it's not even a high flyer.
Well, let's look at some more examples then. Let's just take a look. People are saying, all right, this is just one example. Let's take a look at some more.
All right. Let me bring you across to this particular example. I'm moving this around as I can get best I can get it. Okay. So Ross, you look at Walmart. Walmart's not sexy, Ross. It really isn't. Boring stock. It's got 1.2 million employees. Doesn't move more than, a buck or two a day. Why would somebody like me be interested in something like this? Why? Because there's an algorithm that's always driving the order flow at least once or twice a day in this, because I've been tracking it for about 3 years. Now, let me explain what an algo trade looks like, okay? So Walmart opens down today. You can see right there, it closed at around 165. Immediately, Walmart opens down. That's not a gap. There's a print and it drops out of the sky. Now, again, I will show you exactly what it looks like using my channel tool. The channel tool is your best friend, and I'll actually extend it to the left. Now, this is an algo trade that drops Walmart from the 165 to the 163 half level. There's $1.50 right there. Now, you look at Walmart and you're thinking, well, this isn't Nvidia, this isn't Advanced Micro, this isn't Meta, which swings around, or ASML, which can move $8 a minute. It's just Walmart. But at the same time, look at what happens. It swings down and it swings right back up with the same ferocity, with the same angle, and the same time frame, which means this is a 3-minute candle. This took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 minutes to do this. And then bringing it back up took about a half hour. Took about 10 candles to bring it back. So in the first half hour to 40 minutes, this is what Walmart does. It swings down and it swings up. Now, that's an algo trade. That's an algo trade. Now you're going to ask yourself, well, what if I missed it? My attitude is this, okay? Understand this. So what if you missed it? Doesn't mean the day is over for you. And you're like, but what do you mean by that? Okay, this is one thing I will teach you. And it takes a while to learn, which is why you need to join the class, because repetition is the mother of skill, Ross. You have to do it a lot to learn it. This is what we call in the business a flagpole. Okay, that's the flagpole right there. And then immediately, if you actually look at what's happening here, okay, that's a flag. There's the pole. There's the flag. You can see it like, suspend your imagination. It's like somebody's holding up a flag here. That's the flagpole. And there's the flag. This is a very, very common, almost ridiculously common, maybe the most common intraday formation called an intraday flag formation. Now, here's the thing about this AI trade. You're looking for volatility. I'm telling you, you don't need to look for volatility. Extend the flag to the right and look what you're going to see. It's mind-blowing, okay? Watch. Notice how even if you hit the trade right there, okay, I'm taking it at 164, okay? The algorithm is already in play. The algorithm is already mapping out the volatility. You can see the volatility from this perspective. It swings up. It swings down. It swings up. But what do you notice that the algo's doing with this, Ross? It's making higher highs and higher lows.
Sure.
So the algo is manicuring a clean channel. Now, if somebody says, well, what if I buy it here? Okay, what you have to worry about is risk. Where's the risk? It's the bottom of the flagpole channel. The bottom of the flag channel is right there. As long as this stock does not break underneath that channel, it will continue to walk higher. As soon as it breaks underneath, which is exactly right here, okay, that's where the algo steps away and people take over. So you can see right here, algo, then a little bit of profit taking, then the algo does what? It grinds it higher all day long. Ross, this is what I'll put to you. The idea that you think, and I don't think you think this, that you think that this is people, Ross, it's nonsense. People, if this is people, it's swinging all over the place because there's price discovery. There's no price discovery.
Show me what people looks like. Show me what people looks like. What does people look like?
There are no people. Here's where people come in. They come in right there. That's a person trading. How do you know? Because it's swinging up and it's swinging down. Whenever you see it swinging back and forth, that's probably people trading. But when it's making higher highs and higher lows without any volatility in a perfectly manicured channel, that's a machine. The machines are taking this and walking it upward. And as long as there's no volume or volatility on the other side, like a big size imbalanced trade, they're going to keep walking this up. So for the people out there who are thinking to themselves, oh, I can't manage this. It's got to be something where I have to be on 3 cups of coffee and a Red Bull. You're absolutely wrong. You can every single stock has a footprint of its own in any given day. And sometimes it's highly volatile. Sometimes it's a flag up. Sometimes it's a flag down. It's Take it as it comes, Ross. Have no preconceived notions. Just watch the action and follow the patterns is the easiest first step to this.
Well, the big part that I'm learning is that it's all about knowing what's people and what's machines. And when you have that distinction, you are way ahead of the game, because most people, when they look at a chart, have no idea how to separate the two. Am I right or wrong? It's okay to tell me I'm wrong.
I wouldn't say all people, but most people, even professionals, don't know how to separate the two at all.
Right. Well, how do you go from knowing how to separate the two, right? Which is step one, and you obviously can teach people how to do that, and we've still got a lot of examples to come here tonight. But how do you go from being able to separate the two? You know what's people on the chart, you know what's a machine on the chart. How do you go from there to being able to confidently validate a trade like this to where you have a high probability trade? How does that work out? How does that happen?
Most trading by institutions is done in the first 15 minutes of the day because they already have prefabricated orders to execute, and in the last 15 minutes. So there's market on close orders and there's market on open orders. So that 15 minutes at the beginning and the 15 minutes at the end of the day, put an asterisk next to it. The next 6 hours is machine and people, machine and people. And most institutional traders are not really trading throughout the balance of the day at large funds like Fidelity or AIM or Constellation or what have you, Naveen. No, they trade in the last 15 for a big block order or in the first 15 to pair off trades. What happens? What?
How do you know that for sure? How do you know that that's
because I've been trading for 35 years and I ran a hedge fund. I worked for mutual funds. I worked for hedge fund managers. And one of my jobs when I started in the business 30 years ago was I was an execution trader. I was given orders to fill 10, 20, 30, 100,000 shares of a trade. And I had to do the order, and I was given a certain time frame and time limit to do it throughout the day. And back in the day, when there were no VWAPs and there were no machines, you had to do it manually by calling the floor or calling other traders to match those trades. So recently I did a TheoTRADE webinar today, coaching session as it were, on market on close orders and order imbalance. And I showed a chart that says 20% of all trades is done in the last 15 minutes by size. And then the other part of that is about 5 to 10% are done in the first 15 minutes. So 30% of all volume is already done in two segmented 15-minute periods. That means 70% of the volume is left to the day done by either individual traders, prop traders, or a machine. Ross, who has the most firepower? An individual with a $50,000 account or a machine that's got billions of dollars behind it like Citadel? You figure it out. They're the ones who control the tempo, not the individual.
So what's been happening, and this is the reason why we even decided to have this event, and we put all the time we could to be able to craft this event, was that what is happening is that these uber powerful algos are, distorting natural price action, as we could describe it, right? And put in yesterday's methods and yesterday's strategies, basically just throwing them in the trash because it's so hard to go up against. You're going up against the Terminator, basically. I don't know if I'm describing it accurately. Just let me know.
It's perfect. It is the Terminator. It's exactly what it is. It's Ross, tradition. Listen, I'm a professor at Loyola and I teach 7 different classes at 3 levels at the university. One of the classes I teach, and I'm the only one who can teach it, I'm the only one qualified, is applied portfolio management. And I teach it in the summer to about 10, 12 students, and there's no exams. It's just you build a hedge fund and you manage it. And I can tell you this, I've been teaching it for 8 years. I've been a portfolio manager since I came out of my mother's womb, and I can tell you this, traditional investment management's dead. It doesn't exist. There is no diversification anymore, because 7 stocks control 39% of the entire index. Most managers nowadays don't have 200 or 300 positions. They carry maybe 10 or 20 or 30, and they're highly concentrated in those positions only. And they pretty much given up on research. Research has proven them wrong. Traditional metrics and methods have failed. They fail at market tops, whereas they tend to work at market bottoms. So what the machines have done is they've completely detached reality from traditional valuation metrics and methods. And what managers have learned now is that fundamentals really don't matter. What matters is order flow, technicals, narrative, and momentum. And it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, the machines now, the stats used to be, Ross, in 2008, algorithms were responsible for 50% of all trades. Algorithmic trading has been around since 1990, okay? It really got its leg and footing in 2000, 2001 with the internet, but it never quite took off. But starting around 2008 with the crash of the real estate crash, that's when algos came into play because money managers didn't know how to set limits and take losses. Well, that's where the algos came in to figure out how to better manage efficiently in and out trading. Since that time, up to 2018, it was estimated that 70% of all trades in a given day were done electronically. In other words, there's no people. It's you turn on a machine, you program it, and the machine just follows orders, executions, and throws in the trades and does what it does. It's called machine learning as opposed to deep learning. Well, the new iterative generation is now called deep learning. Now it's estimated that on certain given days, the machines will actually be responsible for, Ross, 90% of trades are electronically done on certain given days. The point being is, we're not going backwards. We're not going backwards in machines. At some point, machines might actually be running 99% or 100% of all trades, where there will be no more robo-advisors, no more portfolio. They won't even exist. You'll give money to a person who will then plug it into a machine, and all things will be done by the machine. So the machines will pretty much replace Wall Street. So my guess is, Ross, and this is not a joke, you might see by 2030, Ross, 50% of Wall Street will have no people, will be out of business. They'll have half of what they have now because the machine is faster, more efficient, it's cheaper, it's less prone to fat fingers, and it manicures and manages risk and kills volatility so it can actually manipulate price. So I'll end this on this, Ross. Price discovery right now, maybe not forever, but in this day and age, price discovery is dead. It does not exist. There is no price discovery because machines have nullified it, negated it, and obliterated it.
So Jeff, why we wanted to hold this, and we've been having discussions about this for weeks, was that what you just spoke to is basically a situation where regular traders are in a very difficult back against the wall, behind the eight ball situation on a daily basis because the algorithmic power, as it were, within the stock market is only increasing, only making it harder and harder to be on the other side of trades with these machines on the other side of them. So this is why we wanted to put this in front of you today, was because what this does is it allows, and I'm not sure whether you would concur with this, Jeff, but it allows for the average trader of any level of ability, whether that's a beginner, medium, advanced, doesn't matter, to be able to, instead of trying to compete and get into a game of fisticuffs with a 10-ton algo, instead they can ride the backs of algos, ride these sustained moves, which to a degree are spottable, to a degree predictable and sustainable, and you can confidently play these moves. And this is why we wanted to hold this, so we could show you what is happening and actually be able to show you an alternative route to not get run over by AI, but to actually start taking advantage of AI. Am I right, Jeff? It's okay to say that I was off base there, but that's some of the stuff we were chatting about, right?
Let me borrow Ross's term, and I'll give credit where credit's due. If you don't understand AI, you are roadkill. You're AI roadkill. Now, you are not, nobody here should be feeling as if they have to become a day trader. That's nonsense. Even if you are not comfortable intraday trading, which is what this is, there are still thumbprints on a daily basis, Ross, and on a weekly basis that indicate that an algorithm has taken control of that individual position. And it's kind of like Bugs Bunny. If you can't beat them, which you can't, you got to join them. So my goal is to expose people and get them hooked into understanding how algorithms, not just how they work mechanically or technically. That's not the important part. The important part is understanding when an algorithm is at play and how you might ride on the coattails of that algo, whether it be intraday on a daily basis, or whether you're an investor saying, well, I'm only interested in taking positions quarter to quarter. Doesn't matter. You can still piggyback off the AI trade spy to understand, like, if you stay in this trade, it could be a sustained winner for a while, as long as the algorithmic footprint is still there. But as I said, Ross, it's not just one tell. There are layers and layers of tells. And that's why I created a class for it, because to try to simplify and distill it down into one day is an impossible task, and it would be misleading. So yes, everybody can learn from this. Even the most sophisticated or unsophisticated, even a professional could learn from me.
All right, what about some more examples? I want to be able to see some more AI and some of these stocks that are on this watch list. The watch list is yours. At the end of this webinar, we'll be sending everybody who has taken the time to be here with us your 37 stock watch list. Just talk really quick about the time and effort that you take to create that watch list and actually be able to curate it into a 37 stock watch list. Just talk about your process about, you know, how you even find this AI activity in the first place.
The AI watch list that I curated is all technology driven. It's all tech stocks. Okay.
Why is that?
I don't want to force people and pigeonhole them and box them into a corner. You have to all be tech. You don't. The tech stocks are where the footprints are most common on an intraday basis. But you could still look outside that watch list and build your own watch list and still trade off your own watch list and curate your own watch list. You have to be able to spot those thumbprints. That's the key. So I'll give you one it's not on the watch list, but it's crucial, where you could have made a lot of money today off this. Okay. Let me give you a quick example for some people who are wondering. Hey, Royal Caribbean Cruises. Okay. It's a very volatile stock. It's not technology, but it actually trades like a tech stock, Ross. It really does. Yep. It swings around a lot. So let me bring you just to like the first, minute of the day to show you how people got badly burned and the algos exploited, okay, the unknown. They exploited the meek, the gullible. Okay, let me show you how this works, okay? Right here, RCL gaps up. You can see right there. It closes at 127 and change, 127 exactly and 39. And then it opens right there on 127.98. So it's 50 cents, okay? Look what happens just in the first minute. It's just mind-blowing, okay? Here it's 127.90, okay? It goes all the way to 129. That's a $1.50 move. That took about 10 seconds to make that move. Now, an individual couldn't possibly do that. That's an algorithm, and you can see right here, Ross, where I'm holding my cursor, there's 73,000 shares that went off in the first minute. That's an institutional order that came in size, and it jammed it higher. And the algo's like, well, we'll just step in front of this and we'll move it up. In the next split second, okay, it actually opens right on the shoulder here at 128 and goes up to 129.48. So theoretically, if you're looking at this from a manicured channel, which is my favorite tool, this is what it looks like. Okay. It's vertical. Again, I keep coming back to this term, linearity. Linearity. People don't behave like this, Ross. That's impossible. It's an algorithm that jammed it in 2 minutes from a 127.5 to nearly 129.5. Okay, so that's a $2 move right there in 2 minutes. Some people might have tried to jump on the ship and say, well, I'm going to buy it here and try to ride it higher. What I keep telling you is that if you actually draw the channel accordingly to the correct slope, if it breaks underneath the slope, the algos will reverse polarity and kill it. And if you don't believe me, look exactly what the algos did. They technically came in. I saw this on the opening, but I've got a lot of things going on, so I don't trade every second of the day. And what they did was they spiked it, they roped in some people on the long side, and then they reversed polarity to the downside until they flattened it out. Supply, demand, imbalance came in right there. It came in right on the support level there. Now, if you're telling me that's random, I'm going to stick a harpoon in your neck. You got to stop that nonsense. That's not random. It comes right to the penny to that support level from the previous day and stops on a dime. Literally. Now, an algorithm has what's called muscle memory. It knows the previous support levels. One of the things I'll teach you in my classes, I will teach you to understand how these support levels and how these channels, how they work in tandem. Algo popped it, roped in the suckers, spit them out, dropped it, and then dropped it inside just a sideways channel for the next half hour to cool things off. Now, at this point, that's not algo activity. How do you know? Because there's price discovery, Ross. Look, down, up, down. What do we have here, Ross? Buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers. What do we have here? All buyers, all sellers. This is a one-sided trade. That's a one-sided trade. That's a two-sided trade. Two-sided trades are people. One-sided trades are algos. Algos are trying to make things manicured so they can get as much movement as possible in a duration or a short burst. Whereas when people come in, an algorithm will trade this, but it won't trade it to the same degree this. The slope matters. They took advantage of the slope here, but when the slope flattened out, the algo will back off the trade and say, okay, now it will just kind of like watch it grind away. It's not that the algos aren't here. They're there, but their presence of suffocation doesn't exist here like it exists here. So it's RCL. Ross, it's not a tech stock, but dang, it acts like one every day.
Well, what I'm noticing is just if you don't know the difference between people and machine, then you can get roped into some bad situations. Is that accurate?
AI roadkill. It's the thing is, it's not that you have to buy or sell here. It's that you have to recognize when the channel breaks. Because when the channel breaks, the algos, they have sniffers. They're like sharks in a bloody water. They will see what's going on. The term is actually called a sniffer. They can see order flow on both sides. And if the order flow on the top side trumps the order flow on the bottom side, Ross, they'll flip the buy to a sell and drive it back down. They're so fast and so powerful and so well tempo controlled that they can turn on a dime. That's how good these algos are. They don't suffer much slippage at all. Whereas people, if they bought there, by the time it got here, those people who bought here, Ross, they're already in a panic. They're already in a panic. They're like, I bought 100 shares here, and they're already down $200 by the time they blink.
Well, what I'd just like to point out humbly is just that's why we're doing this presentation tonight, because this is really dividing traders into two groups, very, very simply. One group who don't know anything about this, don't know anything about how this works, don't have any optics on how this works, understanding of how this works, any type of knowledge, any ability to take advantage of it whatsoever. And everybody on this presentation here who's wisely finding out about how it works and being able to take advantage of how it works. Now, there's a couple of little things that I want to ask you quick because there's a couple of little questions coming in here. So just talk real quick about, someone asked, how is a market made if there are only buyers or only sellers? Do the algos buy and sell to one another? Just
The answer is
that out for us.
the answer is they will buy and sell to one another. So an algorithm is a form of like a liquidity provider. It doesn't have to register as a market maker legally unless it really is a market maker. But an algo, and some are, like Citadel has its own algos and they register as a market maker. So by definition, they are a liquidity provider. But some of these algos are not liquidity providers at all. They don't put themselves out as them. They don't have to meet certain surety bonds and capitalization requirements. Okay. Here's the thing that a lot of you don't understand. Most of you probably think that there's a bunch of algos in like some basement somewhere in New Jersey or New York near the New York Stock Exchange. The answer is there are. But the epicenter of algos is Singapore. Singapore is the epicenter of algos, and that's halfway across the world. So people are asking, well, how is it possible that they can get these trades off? Don't they have to have co-location closer? No, they have such fast, processors, memory cards, broadband. They are already interconnected across the world. And because they have this ability to sniff out order flow, they're already ahead of you. You'll never be able to catch up to their speed, period. So the answer is they might be selling, algos could be selling to another individual. They could be selling to another algo. They could be selling to a liquidity provider market maker, or they could be just doing it to a normal ECN on a cross trade. The question you're asking me and no disrespect, it's irrelevant. Who the hell cares? Who the hell cares who the buyer is? And who the hell cares who the seller is? You just want to get the trade off. Get me in, Ross, get me out. Ross, I don't care if it's a machine or a person. When I want out of a trade, take me out of that trade so I can get out. So don't worry about the mechanics or the technicalities. Like the person's asking me a question like, how is the car built? Forget it. There's 1 million algos out there, 1 million of them with 1 million different programs. There's no way you're going to lay your hand and fingers on what they do. That's not the important thing. The important thing is, okay, don't worry about having what I call like the spyglass. Just worry about the thumbprint. The thumbprint of looking at what it looks like and those swings, that will tell you an algo's at work. And what is the algo doing? Is it running it? Is it walking it up? Or is it just grinding it sideways? Because a lot of traders force trades. You're trying to create something out of nothing. You have to take the tempo of the market. Who controls the tempo of the market? The algorithms do. So you're at the behest of an algorithm. You are a prisoner to the algorithm. You must comply with what they're doing. Otherwise, you're going to get run over like AI roadkill. That's like the best answer I can offer that individual.
Have you got any other examples that you want to share with us? Let's see some more if you have some.
I'll give you one more. People always ask, well, what about Nvidia? Does Nvidia have an AI thumbprint? It has thumbprints all day long. It is the poster child for thumbprints because it's a $600 product that will gap up $5 or $10 pre-market and post-market. Look, Ross, it's down 17. If you bought it today, guess what? You're down $17 and probably getting a margin call. Okay. So let me walk you through, okay, what an AI kind of thumbprint looks like for this. So on the opening rotation for this particular underlying, okay, and I'll zoom in here. You can look for yourself on a 1 minute, 5 minute. I'll even switch it to a 5 minute so you can see it. You can like lengthen it out, smooth it out, okay? Here's a 5 minute. So what happened here? Not much. It pops and then it drops. So is there an AI algorithmic thumbprint that I can trade off of here? Not likely. It's too narrow, okay? Too much order flow. You can tell by the activity early on that there's a lot of call buying, a lot of DTE, day trade expiration players. See all that volume right here, people? Nvidia is the type of stock where, I repeat, I would never trade in the first 15 minutes. It's got too much order flow, too much options, too much gambling, Too many wacky trades are playing here all the time, Ross. You see what I'm saying? Too much wackadoodle stuff. So here's what I would suggest you do. And this is what I'll teach in the class, Ross. I can't teach patience. I cannot teach any of you patience. Patience comes from experience. It comes from watching the screen I've been watching the screen for 1 billion hours my whole life. So after a while, you begin to sit back and you're like, okay, don't worry about it. If I miss this trade, it's like my wife tells me, don't worry about it. There'll be another bus coming around the corner in Chicago. If you miss a trade, don't worry. It'll come around again on Nvidia. What you can see here is this, okay? If you decided to intraday trade this, here's your algorithm right here. It's manicured for you. Look at that algo trade. They swung it up, Ross. They swung it down. They swung it up. They swung it down, okay? Will it swing back up here? I don't know, okay? But here's the key to my system. It's not what you don't know, Ross. It's what you do know. Don't worry about what you don't know. What you don't know is, where is it going to move in here? You don't know. What do you know? You know if it breaks the channel, Ross, it's going down for the count. You don't believe me? Here you go. Another algorithmic channel carved out, destroying people. How big was this one? Let's take a look. 631, $628, Ross. Could have bought a put there, probably made about 70 or 80 bucks in that put right there. Just the put intraday, okay? All I know is, I don't know what's going to happen here, but the footprint tells me that I'm already in a flag formation. I can see it. It's obvious. Come on, people. You got to see it. Flagpole flag. If it breaks underneath here, Ross, I'm going for the short. If I buy here and I'm wrong, what do? Stop out of the trade. Just get out of the trade immediately. Just get out of the trade. Eat the loss, break even. But what if I buy here and it holds the channel? Stay in the trade. Why? Because it's likely going to swing back up there. Algorithms are not in a hurry, Ross. They're only in a hurry in the first 4 minutes. Why? Because they have to settle institutional trades off the opening. You got the DTEs, the day trade expirations. You have the big, Fidelities, Vanguards. They're firing in massive size to buy or take positions early on. They might be selling. They might be buying. We don't know. All we know is this is noise. It's white noise. Let it play. Once it establishes, okay, a channel or a pattern, now you're in business, Ross. Now you're in business. You can buy this right here, all along that speed bump. But I can tell you this, if the speed bump breaks, you got to pull the trigger and get out, because the algos can flip on you in a heartbeat. This is Nvidia. This doesn't happen to every stock. So my message is this, and I'm turning it back to you, Ross. Get a watch list you're comfortable with. Don't be hooked on this cocaine high. Don't think you have to be married to Nvidia or the watch list I'm giving you. I have other watch lists I will curate through time. And I will tell you right now, every watch list, you will be able to mine out and see all these algorithmic trades play out. Now, you're not going to see an algorithmic trade play out in Peloton. It's a $5 stock. You're not going to see an algorithmic play out in Snap. It's $15. Most algorithmic trades play out in stocks $50 or more. And that will make up the bulk of what primarily I will toss in your lap. That I can tell you.
What has been the most surprising thing about you, about this whole thing, since you started looking into this so deeply, since you started obsessing about it? What has surprised you the most about what you've discovered on your own?
The number one thing that has caught my attention, number one, I do not believe in randomness. The algorithms won't let random. I don't want to steal Nassim Taleb's book, which is Fooled by Randomness. Don't be fooled by randomness. In other words, the first 10 minutes, Ross, it's random. But as the day moves forward, there is no randomness. The algorithms wrest control of the randomness, and they forced patterns to come into play. And then either you trade with that pattern and protect, or if you trade against it, you get run over. The second thing I've learned after all this time is this, and this is like something people may not grasp, but even if you're not an intraday thumbprint player. You're like, well, I don't want to trade intraday. I just want to be a position trader and stay in that trade for a while. Okay. What you'll realize is that, and you look long enough, and I'll bring this up. Costco. Costco is completely, utterly controlled, suffocated, and manipulated by algorithms 100% of the time. 100%. Not Ross, not 98%, 100. Okay. Ross,
Sure.
how much do you know
Sure.
about trading algorithms compared to me, or about the market?
Not a whole lot.
About 1%?
Maybe less.
Okay, take a look at this. Does that look like it's random to you?
Looks pretty neat and tidy.
Doesn't it? It's because it's all algorithmically run. They set the bar underneath. See how they have a support level on that higher low? So anywhere in here, Ross Bowering is allowed to buy. Ross, you can buy anywhere in here, anywhere you want, because you're protected by the algorithm. But Ross, tell me what happens if you fall and break outside that channel.
I'm going to guess trouble.
You got trouble, because the algo won't defend you anymore. It only defends in a manicured or curated channel. That's all it will do. You break the channel, and it will turn against you. You don't believe me? Anybody want to doubt me anymore? Here's Intel on a manicured channel. Take a look for yourself, everybody. Here's Intel. That's on the watch list. Hey, Ross, what happened when it broke outside the manicured algorithmic channel?
Looks like it sank.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's on its own now. The algorithm won't defend anymore. It won't defend once you break the channel. And not all channels come in the same size, duration, or slope. It's on an individuated basis, which requires the individual who's watching us to get in tune with a watch list, Ross, and trade only that watch list all the time. No flavors of the day. No flavors of the day. I will send regular watches. Just get comfortable with 10 or 20 and only trade those 20, and that's it. Once Intel broke here, and you're like, but it rallied up. Doesn't matter. Once it breaks, the algorithms will no longer defend you. They won't. They will only defend channels as long as it stays in it. Want to see a channel they're defending, Ross? Look at this one. Anybody buying Tesla here? Good luck. Every time Tesla rallies, Ross, what is the algorithm going to do? It's going to beat it down. Look how every time it rallied, it beat it. Rally, beat it. Why? Because the slope is down. This is an algorithmically driven channel. Even intraday, as Tesla's swinging around $5 or $6, everybody, doesn't matter. Look at the pattern. Check it out. What happened once Tesla, Ross, broke underneath that channel? Game over. The algos no longer defend long. Now they defend what? Short. So what you asked me, what's the most important thing I learned? There's no more randomness. It's completely manipulated in channels. Completely. Look at it yourself. I could bring up 1,000 examples. They all look the same.
What I'm seeing, just based upon your examples, is that you can predict and see and understand algorithmic behavior if you know what you're looking for.
Yes, but I can tell you this. This is very simplified. This is just an optic using a drawing tool. My system is not like black and white, this simple. There's layers, but the layers themselves are very, very intelligible, very facile, very, very user-friendly to grasp. So when people come to class and say, well, I don't understand this indicator, who the hell cares if you don't know how it's built? Again, stop with building the car. Drive it. All I'm going to do is drop the tools in you and say, watch this, watch this, watch this. And you'll begin to see like, my God, the price movements are random, but the channels are never random. Of course, they're not random. The algorithms have figured out how to kill volatility and manicure the channels perfectly. That's what they do. That's why when Don came on, what does Don Kaufman said, everybody, for 6 months? The VIX is broken. It doesn't work anymore. Why is the VIX broken, Ross? Because the algos broke the VIX. They destroyed it. It's useless.
Well, you've taught us a lot, and you've taught me a lot today, and about how to look at what AI is doing and how to be able to know what's going on and not just be be a person wearing horse blinders to the whole thing. What I'd like to do, if it's all right, just because time's getting away from us, is to go into what we're here for. If you're here as a person who genuinely wants to understand how AI is not just dominating the stock market, but making life very, very hard for everybody who doesn't understand its behavior. So I just kind of want to recap what we've covered today here. We've covered the fact that AI activity can be consistently identified in certain stocks. You saw patterns, you saw the channels, you saw what we call the thumbprints, which are essentially clues that you can follow, which are teachable, that allow you to be able to spot and understand and kind of put these clues together to see that there's AI activity in certain stocks. Of course, most people have no idea that this is even possible. To them, everything just appears random, and they just get run over, and they kind of take their lumps, but they don't really understand what's happening, and they're just going to keep on taking their lumps. The other thing that I really want to get across is that this is not a losing battle. You can actually take advantage of AI. The issue which people are encountering is they don't understand that AI is even on a price chart, right? They don't even understand that it's even active, where it is, what it's doing, how it's doing it, how they can react, how they can predict what it's going to do next, and how they can potentially actually take advantage of that. And the message that I think that the professor was very clear about, which I want to concur with, of course, is that you don't need to be AI roadkill. That's why we're putting on this presentation. So we wanted to actually give you a lot of hope today. We don't have bad news about AI. We actually have very good news about AI, which is that you don't need to let it run you over. So I want to ask you, do you feel more hope after today that you can survive and thrive in this era of algos and AI? And do you see practical pathways open to you to turn AI dominance into an actual good thing in your life and in your trading? Because that's the goal of this whole thing today. Do you feel hope that as AI and algos only achieve greater, more suffocating influence in the stock market, that now you won't get left behind? And the professor was very clear, right, Jeff, that and you shared the stats that we're almost at the point where there's no people left. Is that accurate?
There are some people out there, but they're few and far between.
Sure, they're getting less and less and less. So how are we gonna adapt in this brave new world, I guess, right? Well, what we have been talking about behind the scenes is that what is being created, whether we like it or not, whether anybody on this call likes it or not, is a true AI divide. And the AI divide, in very simple terms, is there's going to be a group of people, it may just be a small group of people, but a group of people who actually understand what AI is doing in the stock market and has the tools and the capabilities and the understanding to actually take advantage of that. And then there's going to be a much larger group who sadly isn't going to know what AI is up to, isn't going to be able to take advantage of AI because they don't even know the first thing about what's going on about AI. And so that's why we're doing this presentation today, is to help put you on the right side of that AI divide, which is only going to get wider and wider as the AI dominance continues to get more and more. So, the professor and I, as we talked about this, we're kind of faced with two choices. We can either end the presentation here, we can leave you to your own devices and, hope that you take what you've learned today and that you can apply it into your trading. Or the professor can take an active role in arming you with the further education and resources that you need to make sure that you thrive in this algo-dominated trading era. And I'm happy to say that the good news is we decided on this second choice. So here's what we're doing. And I really hope that you're listening, because this is truly world first stuff. You're here for a world first presentation in a very legitimate way. No one else is talking about this. No one else is teaching this. No one else is preparing regular traders for this. It's just not happening. So this is the only place to make that happen. So with great pleasure, we are inviting you to join us for an exclusive 2-phase total immersion learning experience. Phase 1 is an AI Trade Spy live masterclass that the professor is going to be holding on February 13th. This is a live masterclass. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. Phase 2 of this experience is the AI Trade Spy immersive mastermind. That's a 2-day live mastermind. We're going to get into what that's all about too. First, let's talk about phase 1. So first, in phase 1 of this experience, you're going to join the professor for a live, in-depth, comprehensive, beginner-friendly, and I really want to emphasize beginner-friendly, everything step by step, everything clear. There's going to be no guesswork or anything like that. That's happening on February 13th. So in this phase 1 masterclass, we're very excited about it because we've talked about it, we've planned it very carefully, and the professor is going to teach you every AI trade setup. So we talked today, but we were in time limitations today. But in this masterclass, the professor is going to have free reign, to teach you every AI setup that you can use on an almost daily basis to be able to find countless high probability trades. So if your problem is, I don't know where my next trade's coming from, problem solved, because the AI dominance is so complete that AI is in so many stocks, very active. The professor knows how to track it down, hunt it down in very simple ways, spot it, and show you how to take advantage of it. So he's going to teach you too how to validate a trade. So it's not just about just you finding a thumbprint, right, Jeff? It's about knowing that you've confidently found a trade, not just a sign of AI, but that you can validate that just like you would. Let's say you find a clue to anything, you're a detective. You want to find multiple clues to make sure that you found the perpetrator, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, let me put it to you this way. There's going to be some formulaic indicators. There's going to be some drawing tools. There's going to be some colorized optics where you can actually set up your charts a certain way, even in a color-coded system, and just follow the color-coded system. But I will tell you, there is not what I call a holy grail of one tell that gets you profitable in the trade. You have to weigh them accordingly and say, hey, I got a checklist. Go down the checklist individually, the 7, 8, 9, 10 things, and say, listen, if it checks all the boxes on 9 of them, the likelihood is, okay, you're in probably a good trade. There are certain tells which are better than others, but to be sure, you don't have to be anal and make sure you check all the boxes, but you have to make sure you have a preponderance of evidence if you're in a court of law to prove your case that this is a trade I'm going to take and I'm going to thrive and be in it. So I will do intraday, and I will also do duration, because not everybody is wants to be what's called an intraday trader. So I'm going to try to cater to different tolerances of risk and different tolerances of duration of how long they want to stay in the position.
Exactly. And the other thing is we're going to be able to give you clear execution criteria, just like you were talking about that, Jeff, for how to get in and get out of trade. So you're going to be able to find the setups. You're going to be able to locate the AI setups that are happening, right? You're also going to know how to validate those trades so you can feel confident about those trades. You're going to understand the different, risk metrics about, whether you should do the trade, whether you shouldn't do the trade. You're also going to understand very clearly in like, checklist style, right? How to get into a trade, how to get out of one of these AI trades. And the other thing is in terms of account size, people want to know, how large does my account need to be? Well, if you're using options and you do have the option to use options, right? As it were, right?
Right.
You can start off with a $2,000 account, just like you would if you were just, trading options. And this is a viable thing for anybody doing this, right? You do not need, I'm going to be very clear, you do not need some very sizable account to do this. That is just not the case. That is inaccurate. You can do this with a small account, a humble account, a humble, little engine that could $2,000 account. This is possible for you too. And whatever your trading style, you will walk away, and this is kind of how we put this class together, is to teach you how to fish, right? And of course, they say teach a man to fish, right? And we want to teach you how to fish in a very comprehensive way so that you can find countless of these high probability trades, as many as you wish to find, right? So your issue about perhaps, I don't know where my next trade is coming from, we want to solve that. We want to solve that for life, really, with this class. Because the thing is that this class takes on a whole new level of importance when you look at it through the lens of the fact that AI is only becoming more and more dominant, more and more prevalent, right? And the only real option to stay alive in that world, in this era, whether we like it or not, unfortunately, is to wrap our heads around AI and algos and actually start to take advantage of them rather than to be roadkill. So that's the thought process. That's the intention behind this class, is to really give you a comprehensive education, beginner-friendly education, step by step, so that you walk away from this class full of confidence, right? Full of confidence about the future and about your trading skills. And just attending this class, we're designing it so just attending this class is going to naturally up-level your trading skills and put you on the right side of that AI divide, where you're the one taking advantage of AI, not the one getting run over by AI, right? So, but that's only phase one. In phase two, we're going to take those learnings from the masterclass, take those nuggets from the masterclass, and what we're going to do, which is really exciting, is we're going to take that knowledge and we're actually going to go practically into the markets, AI trade spotting together in a 2-day immersive mastermind, which is going to be held on February 15th and 16th. This is a 2-day live immersive mastermind where we're going to go into the markets and we're going to go AI hunting as a team, practically finding potential trades. You do not necessarily have to execute any trades, but this is the intention behind it, is to take what you learn in the class and actually apply it. Jeff, you've been teaching at the highest levels for a long time. What is the value of actually applying knowledge rather than just having knowledge in your head?
What it comes down to is this: you have to be realistic. You're not going to make money on every trade. That's just plain and simple. You're not. But the idea here is to how to manage around your trades to minimize or mitigate mistakes and maximize opportunity. So when it comes down to learning the particular system and program, the objective is to increase the probability that you're on the right side of the trade and decrease the probability that you're on the wrong side of the trade. And your ability to decipher and read these thumbprints automatically gives you an edge. It doesn't automatically guarantee you, I'm going to make money, but it gives you an edge to read a particular situation and say, I'm going to take that trade or I'm not going to take that trade. What a lot of people do is they have no sense of how to grasp the AI thumbprints. So they just launch themselves into the trade. based upon narrative, based upon a feel, what they call affectation, based upon, oh my God, it's been up 3 candles, I'm going to chase. And they leave themselves completely exposed because they don't have the right set of tools to properly read the algorithms. So I pride myself on being able to read algorithms and say, this is a bad trade to take short right now, or this is a good trade. My job is to increase my probability of getting on the right side of the trade. And I found that the more I understand about algorithms, the more it increases my probability of win rate for a particular trade. That's what I'm hoping to accomplish as a teacher in here, because I teach fundamentals for a living and I still enjoy it, but it's becoming less and less of an influence, and the machines are becoming more and more of a presence. So either I adjust or I'm going to get swept away by this eventually. So that's the goal.
The really cool part about what we're planning for this mastermind is that you can share your screen in the mastermind, show the professor what you're seeing, have him look at it with you together, and just come to such great levels of understanding, of confidence, of competence, of knowing what you're looking at, having it validated by the professor himself, right? So you've got this masterclass opportunity. Then we're going to follow up with the 2-day mastermind. So we're going to teach you to fish in the mastermind. Then we're going to go fishing together, as it were, in the mastermind, and teach you how to trade these AR moves for the rest of your trading days, hopefully. Bruce says, Professor, it was a fantastic year for me. I've learned so much from you. I was able to increase my account by 70%. We love to hear that. And the other thing that I want to mention is, if the date and times of the masterclass or the mastermind don't jive with your schedule for some reason, don't let that stop you from taking advantage of AI. You're going to get full recordings of the masterclass and the mastermind, and you won't miss a thing, and you can review these recordings forever. However, time is a factor, a genuine factor here, because we need to keep this an intimate learning experience for everyone. So we're capping this unique opportunity at the first 50 signups. We're capping this opportunity at the first 50 signups. So we just dropped a link into the Zoom chat box. You can click that link. That's the sign up page where you can find all of the details about how to participate in this with us. But there is more. When you enroll in this 2-phase learning experience, you also get some special bonuses. So plus, there was a 90-day money-back guarantee, which I'm going to get to very shortly and give you the details on the money-back guarantee too, because we want to protect you. We want to take the risk on our shoulders because we're very, very confident in what we have here, and we love to protect you. We want to protect you, so the 90-day guarantee helps us do that. We're very glad to offer that to you. The first bonus that you're going to get when you enroll in this 2-phase learning experience is you're going to get a private VIP AI briefing. This is the same presentation that the professor alluded to before. You're going to get the full uncensored slide deck and video recording of the presentation that the professor gave at an intimate VIP private traders retreat in November 2023, where people paid $2,000 to learn the most up-to-date trading approaches. This is not something that we just came up with to do an event tonight. Let me be very clear about that. This has been something which has been an ongoing obsession of the professors that I've been honored to witness over the last couple of years, as he has seen what has been happening to regular traders consistently getting run over by AI, and wanted to put something together and educate traders about what is happening so that they don't get caught in the crossfire of AI over and over and over again. And when the professor gave this presentation, no one else in the trading community is talking about this. No one else is coming forward with this level of understanding about algorithms and this level of understanding about how to spot AI and potentially take advantage of AI on an almost daily basis in the stock market. It's just not happening. And, you know, as a bonus, you get this private VIP briefing that he delivered at this private retreat. It's yours, the full recording, the full slideshow. The second bonus is you're going to get a lifetime AI Trade Spy weekly updates. And this is really cool because I'm sure that you are watching some of this presentation tonight and you were thinking to yourself, well, I'm a busy person, because, you know, who isn't a busy person, right? I don't know anybody who wouldn't qualify themselves as a busy person. So you're busy, we're all busy, right? So what the professor is going to do in these weekly AI Trade Spy updates, and you're going to get these for the lifetime, is he's going to come forward every single week in a video and explain to you in detail where he's seeing the most AI activity that you can potentially take advantage of. And what that's going to do is that's going to free up your time, if you wish for it to do so, where you don't need to be stuck at your desk or stuck at a screen. You can wait every week for the professor to come along and very clearly elucidate to you where this AI activity is taking place and how you can take advantage of it. And that's our second bonus. And that's really cool, because that's we included this because we want to save you time. We don't want you chained to your desk. No one wants to be chained to a desk. Now, thankfully, the professor, you know, as he would admit, has an obsession with the stock market, right? So he has an obsession, so you don't need to have one, right? So you're good. He can just deliver this to you each week. He can show you where the AI trade action is happening. He can show you where the AI activity is, and you can just move on that. The third bonus is you're going to get the watch list at the end of this webinar. We're going to email it to you. The other thing that you're going to get, though, is lifetime updates to that watch list. So when a stock falls off that watch list, you're going to know about it. When a stock is added to that watch list by the professor, you're also going to know about it. So you're going to be in the loop like nobody else about what stocks are displaying this level of AI activity that you can take advantage of. So that's the third bonus, because we want to keep you in the loop about this in a big, big way. Now, the fourth bonus is a 30-day risk-free quant guide trial. So the quant guide is a labor of love subscription service, which the professor has hosted now for 2 years. It's been very successful. It's our flagship subscription service. Each week, the professor puts out hours of new exclusive content analysis and trade ideas. And it's a little bit like a Netflix for trading. It's like a one-man band Netflix for trading. And it works a lot like a Netflix, actually. It has an app. It has the same kind of interface as Netflix, because the professor, if you haven't noticed, is pretty prolific in terms of the content that he comes out with. And the content in the quant guide, I'm going to say, because I'm obviously biased, but the reason why I love to work with the professor is because I truly feel like there's no other stock market content service that can hold a candle to what we do in the quant guide. I just don't know if you can get the level of depth, the level of cogent analysis, the level of explanation, the level of understanding that is available anywhere else, because the professor just brings it every single week, publishing hours of content. You know, behind the scenes, we call him a content machine, because unlike a lot of people, who claim to want to educate you a lot, he doesn't just come out with things kind of here and there. He's in your corner every single week with a quant guide, putting out hours and hours of content. And we love to put it in front of you. We love to present it to you. And we have a lot of success stories in terms of subscribers who've just achieved wonderful results for our service here. So when you sign up now for this 2-phase learning experience, we're going to give you 1 whole month of free unrestricted access to the quant guide. You can check it out. You go in, kick the tires, make yourself at home, have fun, engage with the content, watch some, see if you like it. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's okay too. That's why it's a free trial. I do want you to know that around 70% of people remain a member after their free trial, which is a lot in this industry, a lot. Most people, if they have any kind of service, maybe they're happy to get 20% of people to stay a member. 70% of people are extremely happy and stay on, but it's easy to cancel if you wish to, and you will get a clear email reminder before you ever build. So there's no funny business, there's no hoops to jump through, nothing like that. We're not out to catch you in something. We just want to give you a free trial to enjoy what we have as the fourth bonus to this two-phase experience. The best part is, if you choose to stay and become a member, you will not pay the website public pricing of $490 a year, which many people pay. You'll only pay $290 a year. So you'll save $200 per year on your enrollment in the Quant Guide. Plus, you'll be grandfathered in at a heavily discounted rate forever. So you're going to end up saving a ton of money over the long term there, because we really want to do you a favor here with this fourth bonus. Now, here's the beautiful recap here. So here's everything that's yours. This is a two-phase experience, like I said. We already have people jumping into this right now. We've got Wayne from Atlanta, Georgia. We've got Veronica also from Georgia. We've got a lot of Georgia people in the house here tonight, right? We've got Edwin from Germany, Weber from Janesville. So here's everything that's yours. It's a two-phase learning experience. You won't find anything else like this. We've specifically curated this to be a two-phase thing where the class is going to teach you everything that you need to know to actively go into the markets. The mastermind is going to build upon the class by giving you the opportunity to go into the markets alongside the professor and go AI hunting with him, learning with him, sharing your screen if you wish with him, having him point stuff out to you specifically. This is an intimate experience. I mean, this is why we're limiting this to the first 50 people to participate here, because we need to keep this immersive mastermind immersive. And this is also why we're offering a 90-day money-back guarantee when you hop in and join us today. The reason why we do that is because we want to protect you. We know that whenever, it doesn't matter what it is, right? You want to try something, you want to give it a go, you want to see if you like it, right? We are not here to tie you up in anything. If you jump into this and for whatever reason whatsoever, you are not ecstatic, doesn't matter what the reason is, you can come back to us in a simple email. There's no hoops to jump through, no fine print, no small print, nothing like that. You can just send us a simple email and just say you'd like your money back, and we'll just give you your money back. It's as simple as that. It's not a complex equation. There's nothing you have to show us or prove to us or anything like that. That's not how we want to do business. It's a 90-day money-back guarantee. We stand behind it. We stand behind all of this. No one else is teaching this. So because no one else is teaching this, you got nothing to compare it to, right? So we just want you to jump in, try it, hop in, right? Without the risk, with the protection of 90 days, 3 months from now. So what does that mean? That means very clearly, you could do the masterclass, you could participate in the mastermind, you could enjoy the heck out of it, you could learn trading skills that you can use for the rest of your life, and that you can also use very, very shortly to be able to improve your trading results. And then even then, after all of that, after you've also got all of these bonuses too, you could decide you want your money back. And guess what we'd say? We'd say yes, no problem. And we part as friends. Simple as that. So I don't know if you've clicked the link yet. It's in the chat. Click that link. Join us as one of the first 50 participants before we have to close this, because if we extend over 50, then this mastermind is not going to be the intimate experience which we have planned for you. So we can't go over 50. Simple as that. So here's Tom. Tom says, Professor Bman, your cogent analysis of Disney was spot on, and I placed a profitable trade. Thanks for all you were doing to better enlighten all of us as traders. And I think it's safe to say that this AI trade spy is the pinnacle of Professor Bman's long career of service to regular traders who need to get ahead. And there's never been a better time to do it because, as we heard about over and over today, very clearly, AI is in control. Regular traders are not in control. The only way to take back control of your trading future is to ride the AIs. Understand what they are doing. And don't get run over. Again, our money-back 90-day guarantee. We're so confident this two-phase learning experience will give you so much newfound confidence. We're offering you this 90-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Unconditional really means unconditional, right? That's not marketing language or anything. That's unconditional. Unconditional means you can hop on in, you can participate without the risk. The risk is on our shoulders. That's how much we believe in this. That's how much we know that this is the future of trading. And we want you to be able to hop on in without worries, without concerns, knowing that you can get your money back if you're not happy for any reason whatsoever. So you must be thrilled with your participation in this two-phase experience, or we legitimately insist on giving you back every single penny that you pay today. No questions asked. Again, there's going to be no hoops to jump through. You're not going to be asked to show any homework. You're not going to be asked to do anything. We'll just say, okay, yes, you can have your money back. That's it. And we're part of friends. It's as simple as that. Again, here's everything that's yours. You've got the two-phase experience. You're completely protected by the money-back 90-day guarantee. You can hop into this masterclass happening on February 13th. Then you can participate in the two-day immersive mastermind happening the 15th and 16th of February. And you get these 4 bonuses. You got Robert H. just hopped in from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. You've got graduate students who pay $45,000 per semester to learn from the professor at Loyola, right? It's a lot of money. Well, you're not going to pay anything near that to participate in this two-phase experience because we don't want money to stand in the way of you participating. You see, algos, as we covered today, algos and AI have achieved such death grip dominance of the markets that we've crafted a special deal so you don't get left behind. If you want the details of that special deal, click on the link that our team has dropped in the chat. We would love to have you participate while there's room, while you can. Hop on in, participate with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot, but it's going to be a lot of fun. If there's anything the professor is, right, and you heard it tonight, he's dynamic. He's fun. He's not boring, right? I mean, he makes it interesting. He adds color to things. He's very passionate, if you can't tell. And I work with him. I'm biased about this, right? You can understand that. But I work side by side with him. All the time when we talk, the central focus of our conversation together is always what's best for our customers, what's best for regular traders, what can we help them with, what's the best, highest possible way that we can help them. We got Marvin who wrote in, he said, Professor Bman, your mentorship was phenomenal. I'm excited about AI. I have so much to learn. Thank you for sharing your expertise. This is going to be a mastermind experience, which is going to stand you in good stead for the rest of your trading days, as it were, right? That's how we are coming into this. We are not doing this with any other intention than providing you with a legitimately game-changing training in how to take advantage of AI. This is not something that's being taught anywhere. We are not aware of it if it is, and we keep our ear very close to the ground about what other people are doing and not doing. I don't know anyone who's doing this. I'm not sure if you heard anybody doing this. I don't know. I haven't seen anything, because this is the only place, to the best of my knowledge, to the best of our knowledge, where this is happening, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. So our strong recommendation because we curated this to be a two-phase experience, is to sign up for the full two-phase experience in total. I just want to welcome Craig from St. Charles, Illinois. He's just joined us. Will you be the next person to join us? But I also want to say to you, you do have the option, and we did want to provide this option, to only sign up for phase one if you wish. Now, you don't get the bonuses if you only sign up for phase one. You only get the masterclass alone. But if that is an option that you would like to take, you can click the link in the Zoom chat. It's going to take you to the details on how to sign up for that. But we do recommend, and I don't want to put too fine a point on it, we spend a lot of time figuring out how can we maximize learning in this experience for everybody who participates. If a person participates in this, how can we virtually guarantee that they're going to come out the other side a changed trader in terms of up-leveling their skills so that they are not part of the masses who have no idea what is happening with AI on a day-to-day basis? They're confused, they're concerned, they're frustrated because trades keep going against them. They don't know why. They don't know what's happening behind the scenes. They can't pull the logic of it together, and it hurts their heads, and it's no fun. And people lose money that way by being out of the loop. We want to put you in the loop. We want you to be part of the small group of people who understand what is actually going on behind the scenes and knows how to leverage that knowledge, knows how to take advantage of that, knows how to get on the right side of that AI divide that we talked about earlier. That's where we want to put you. We want to put you on the right side of that AI divide. So you get the phase one AI Trade Spy live masterclass. You get the AI Trade Spy immersive mastermind 2-day live event where we're going to go together AI hunting together to find potential trades. And you're protected the whole time with a 90-day guarantee, which means you can participate in this full experience from beginning to end. And then at a later date, 3 months from now, 2 months and 30 days from now, you can email us and just say, I'd like my money back. And we'll say again, okay, no problem. And we're part as friends. That's how it works. We want to take the risk off your shoulders. Not everyone wants to do that these days, but we want to do that because we want to help you out. We don't want you to be concerned you'll jump in and it's not right for you. You know, we've designed this so it is right for you. So it's right for any trading style. So it's right for any type of trading experience. Doesn't matter if you've just got started in trading. Doesn't matter if you've been trading for a long time. This is for everybody. We've got Pierre just jumped in. Welcome, Pierre from Quebec. You made a good choice, Pierre. We're going to make you happy. We're going to come through for you. You're going to enjoy this experience. It's legitimately our goal to make it a life-changing experience in terms of the knowledge that you gain from this, that you can take forward into your trading from now until the end of your trading days. It's as simple as that. Now, remember, we've designed this to be a two-phase experience so you can learn to fish in the masterclass, and then you can go fishing with us, with the professor, shoulder to shoulder with the professor, as he's pointing the way to potential trades. And you can show him your screen. You can ask him all of the questions that you want. You know, if I know anything about the professor and how he teaches, he loves interaction, right? This is not going to be some mastermind where someone's just talking at you, right? This is an actual active learning experience, an immersive active learning experience. And you're going to be able to find new trade ideas, and you're going to be able to find them shoulder to shoulder with the professor. Plus, these lovely people here, this is our concierge support team. I know all 5 of the people on your screen personally. Let me tell you something about them. They're super friendly. They're super knowledgeable. And if you have any questions about this offer, you can call them. You can chat with them. and they're just going to very politely give you answers, and they're going to help you. They're going to see if this is a fit for you, and if it is, they're going to sign you up. And you may want to hurry because there's legitimately only 50 spots available in this. So the number to call is 623-244-5657. We love our support team. All of these people on your screen right now, they have been with us for a long time. And they always treat everybody like gold. That's why we love them, right? Because anybody who comes into contact with our ecosystem here, with myself, with the professor, we will go to pains to make sure that you are treated correctly and you are treated right. You are treated as the individual that you are, right? This is why we're also offering you that 90-day money-back guarantee. Because it seems like it's the right thing to do, doesn't it? It seems like it's just the right thing to do. And we just want to always do the right thing by it. So you can hop into this. You can join us right now. Dowell says, Professor, the way you explain the indicators takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for me. And that's the cool thing that I find about the professor, is that the professor, through all of his experience over the years, may know, and this is just from me working with him, may know more about, charting and technical indicators than anybody else out there. And I mean, I know that's a bold statement, but he was your chief market technician for TD Ameritrade for 8 years. So it's not that bold. It's 7 million clients who are relying on him to be able to have his stuff straight, have his head screwed on straight when it came to indicators. Very few people can explain and understand and help you and empower you to understand how to spot chart patterns, how to spot what we call here the AI thumbprints. No one else is going to be able to teach you this with the AI thumbprints. And certainly, let's say you're watching this, you're thinking, well, I'm not a big technical trader. I don't, there's some stuff I don't know. Well, don't worry about it, because this is going to be beginner friendly. This is going to be step by step. You're going to learn stuff in this class. You're going to learn stuff in this mastermind that you are going to be able to leverage and use in anything you ever do in trading from this point on. Anything that you ever do, not just in terms of AI Trade Spy, which we're doing tonight, but anything you ever do. You're going to learn stuff that you can use. You're going to be able to take stuff away, which can be valuable to you right now, that you can start to implement. You can start to execute trades right now on this. So this isn't a later thing. This is a now thing where the AI is everywhere right now, and it's presenting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And what we want to do is to give you the opportunity to take advantage of those opportunities. I'm not sure if I can fit the word opportunity in anymore. Dean says, I've become a much better trader because of you. This is what this is all about. It's about becoming a better trader. Calvin says, I've been hitting singles and keeping losses to a minimum. Again, thank you. This is also about responsible trading, risk-savvy trading, not reckless trading, guesswork trading. This is about understanding what is happening with AI, being able to understand that it's pushing price up and down in sustained moves, and that you can see that happen in distinct patterns that the professor was talking about. And he only scratched the surface of it. And then it's about trading responsibly based upon seeing that, understanding risk, understanding what you're getting into when you get into any trade, what's at stake, right? This is very important stuff, which is important to us so that you know that we're here to be able to help you trade responsibly so you can keep on growing your money responsibly. And I wouldn't be right if I didn't come back to Peter, because this is an extraordinary thing professor's been working with him for a while, but he just made $435,000 in profit in January with one more trading day left. This is the extreme potential of what's possible. When you listen to the professor, you take his lessons, you join him in a master class, you join him for a mastermind, and you really engage in what he has to teach. So let's just recap one more time what we have here, okay? So this is what's yours today. We have the AI Trade Spy live masterclass for you. That's phase 1 of this experience. It's happening on February 13th. We'd love for you to join us. Click the link in the Zoom right now. Phase 2 is the AI Trade Spy 2-day live immersive mastermind, which is going to build off what you learn in the masterclass, happening February 15th and 16th. Then you get the 4 bonuses. The first bonus is the private VIP trader retreat AI briefing. The second bonus is the weekly AI Trade Spy lifetime updates. That's the bonus that's going to save you a ton of time, because the professor's just going to come to you every single week in a very clear, detailed video, show you what's up, show you where the AI is, where is it hanging out, how can you potentially take advantage of it. It's going to save you a ton of time. That's why we're doing it. And you're going to get those updates for life. The other thing I want to reiterate too, again, because it's really important, you got a 90-day money-back guarantee. It's here to protect you, because that's the right thing for us to do. We want to protect you. We want you to be able to enter our world, enter the professor's world, and to be able to feel safe in doing so, with no risk, essentially in your participation with us. We want it to be a safe thing, a constructive thing for you, something that you're doing to better yourself, to grow as a trader. And we don't want you to do that with any excess risk. So we just take the risk on our shoulders. We say, hop on in, experience the whole thing. And even then, 3 months later, you can email us and you can get you can get every single penny back in your pocket. You're going to get no stress about that. You're going to get no 20 questions, no Spanish Inquisition from us. You just get your money back. Simple as that. The third bonus is the AI watch list lifetime updates. That watch list we're going to email to you. We're going to let you know every time a stock gets removed, every time a stock gets added, so you're always in the loop there. And the fourth bonus is the 30-day risk-free Quant Guide trial. If you do decide to continue on to become a member of the Quant Guide, you also save, remember, $200 off of the regular website pricing, which is going to compound over 5 years to save you $1,000. People who participate in the Quant Guide love the Quant Guide because there's so much content. It's up to the minute. It's exciting because you're going to get a new piece of content basically every other day from the professor. He's always recording content for the Quant Guide. He loves to record the content for the Quant Guide. And what we want to do is to give you a free month, test drive it, kick the tires, do your thing, see if you like it. Totally up to you, whether you stay as a member or not. But there are only 50 spots available here. This is a finders, keepers, losers, weepers situation for you. We need to keep this mastermind intimate so that the professor can give you the attention in that mastermind that you deserve. So this is a strict limit. Participation will be reserved on a first-come, first-served basis to preserve the intimacy of this unique learning experience. And so you get phase 1, phase 2, you get protected by the 90-day money-back guarantee, you get the private VIP AI briefing, the weekly AI Trade Spy lifetime updates, the free AI watch list lifetime updates, the 30-day Quant Guide risk-free trial. Click the link in the Zoom and join us. We would love to have you. We will treat you right. This will be an experience that you'll never forget, and you'll be able to take action on what you learn right away in the markets, right away. Opportunity is there all the time, daily. The AI activity is so all-encompassing, so extreme, that it presents opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and the professor is going to guide you to have the discernment to know how to spot those opportunities and potentially how to take advantage of them too. So click the time-sensitive link in the chat, or you can call our concierge support team right now at 623-244-5657. They will be happy to answer any questions that you have, happy to help you in any way possible. Give them a call. What you'll see when you talk to them, if you give them a call, is that you will see that I was very serious about them being very helpful. I was very serious about them being very friendly. I was very serious about them being very knowledgeable. They will help you. They are a very helpful crew of people, very kind group of people. They talk to regular traders like you all day long. They know that what you're trying to do is just get ahead. We all know that. The professor knows that. I know that. That's why we put this presentation on. All you're trying to do is do right by yourself and your family. Get ahead. Simple as that. And the stock market is a vehicle to do that. Trading is a vehicle to do that. But as you saw today, AI has made things much more difficult than it used to be. AI has changed the game for traders, changed the game for regular traders. Victoria from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Welcome to our two-phase learning experience. We're very excited to have you. Welcome. We're going to treat you right. Now, Professor, what I'd like to do is I'll ask you to jump in here and just talk to us about the issues related to AI. Because, some people might be thinking that, your class, your master class, because you're a professor, you're an academic professor at an academic college, a very esteemed academic college, university, I should say, that this is going to be perhaps some kind of like dry academic experience. Can you just reassure people that that's the opposite of what it's going to be?
It's going to be anything but. I mean, when you go to university, everything's theoretical, and most of what theory is, 90%, is never put into action. Everything that you learn at a university level is in a nice, tidy little box. But when you jump to the real world, it rarely matches what's in that tight, little, tidy box. You can sit behind a classroom all you want and learn about war. But when you're in the middle of war, your head spins around differently and realizes, oh my God, I'm in the game and I'm no longer an observer. I teach the class at a certain level where whether you're really sophisticated or whether you're a beginner, it won't make much of a difference. I adjust the level of concepts so that literally everybody's on the same plane. It's not about, quantity. It's about quality. And I very careful how I cherry pick the concepts, the indicators, the things that I choose, and keep it to a simple level. I've been doing this business for 36 years. Less is more. Less is more. I'm not here to dazzle you. I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to talk you up, into the clouds. Just want to keep you on an even playing field so that what you do, every time you walk out there, you feel like you're emotionally and technically equipped to deal with what's going on at any level of understanding and no matter what product you're trading. And I will help you through, if you need, establish a watch list, or I will help you through letting you know that, hey, it's okay to make mistakes. It's just that you have to kind of learn from those mistakes. And the only way to actually learn through algo trading, to understand it, is not to be the algo, but to understand what the algo is, what you're up against. And when you're up against them, you're fortified. You're equipped to deal with it. And that's kind of the level I take it to. I mean, one of the reasons why at Loyola, and I've been there a long time, and I started with teaching one class. Now I teach 7. I teach more classes than anybody at the business school, period, up and down. Although I don't teach all year round, I took the sabbatical for this semester, is because I have an ability to connect the students to the real world. A lot of professors just teach theory and number crunching, and they chuck them out there. I'm not just a teacher, I'm a mentor. I help them bridge the gap between what their education is and how they're going to apply that skill set in the real world to secure them jobs and move up those levels. I understand how to connect with people, and I know what it takes. If I bore my listeners here, if I lose you in 5 minutes, I haven't got you. I'll be able to keep your attention span, which I've been doing for a long time, and keep you in the game. But at the same time, I require of you, like, you have to be prepared to, be a good listener, and then we'll turn around and we'll work together interactively to apply what you're learning. But I can't do this. That's the reason why we have 50 people. We have to limit it. Most of the classes I teach at Loyola, in the smaller ones, I teach 25 or 30. That's actually a large class. For me, 50 is an extraordinarily large class. But given that we have 2 days to get this done, I think I'll be able to accommodate virtually everyone. And that's what I'm known for, is that I'm trying to not be, just plain vanilla. I'm able to tweak and adjust on the fly per person. And I think you'll find out that it'll be worthwhile.
I want to thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
For this event, for giving you time, for giving you expertise, for giving you care to this topic. This is such an important topic. This is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this, because we know that most people are going to fall on the wrong side of that AI divide.
They will.
And we want to help people get on the right side of it. So this is why we're here. This is why we're doing this whole two-phase initiative here. So one last time, thank you, Jeff, so much. I just want to wrap up and say there's 50 spots available. We're not kidding about that. This is a very genuine thing. So I'm not sure what you're waiting for. Click the Zoom link right now. Click the link in the chat while you still can to participate in this two-phase experience, or call our team on 623-244-5657. Jeff, I want to thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. I've had fun. I'm sure everybody here has had fun too, but I also hope you sign up now, because this is tremendously important for your trading future that you participate. So we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us, and you have a great evening, everybody. Thank you so much.